Welcome back, viewers and subscribers. It's your girl, Star Flames, and we're back with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about this April Fool's lawsuit that has been filed against Sean Diddy Combs, and it also names Jay-Z and Beyonce as witnesses. Not only that, it has Gloria and Emilioestefan. Now, the reason why I say that this is a April Fool's joke lawsuit, because that's literally what it is. None of the details in the lawsuit is actually making sense. And check this. Federal prosecutors are saying that the details in the federal indictment against Sean Diddy Combs cannot back up this man's claim because they have evidence and videotape proving that Diddy was doing other things on April 1st, 2015. Not only that, it doesn't stop there. LeBron James was playing for the Cavaliers at that time. It doesn't stop there. Jay-Z was in New York City at the time he was delivering a speech on his streaming platform services. He was in the heights of some business transactions and all of that. So this individual who is suing Diddy, saying that Diddy did something to him, Diddy has supporting evidence that he was doing something else coming from his indictment filed by federal prosecutors. Now, Diddy's drug mule Brendenpaul has also been named in this lawsuit. Brendenpaul attorney is saying at that point, Brendenpaul was still in high school. He has never visited Star Island, and I actually believe this because nothing else in the lawsuit is making sense. Not only that, they're moving for this attorney who filed this lawsuit to be sanctioned, but I believe that this attorney needs to lose his or her license because all the details in it are so inconsistent. I believe that any attorney who is going after Sean Diddy Combs should at least go through the federal indictment, and once they go through the federal indictment, they would see where a lot of things is making sense and not making sense, because if this attorney had gone through the federal indictment, they would see that federal prosecutors have documented Diddy's activity for April 1st, 2015. Now, this accuser, there's a man by the name of Manzaro Joseph, who is basically accusing Diddy of assaulting and humiliating him on his son King Combs' birthday, which is April 1st. He said that it was King's 17th birthday, and Jay-Z was saying, no, I was at a Tidal streaming service engagement. There's video footage of me being at this event. Now, another thing is that we know that Jay-Z and Beyonce don't attend separate events. It's either we're going to get the two or none at all, or one. So as such, anywhere Jay-Z was at this night, Beyonce was also there. If she wasn't on the stage with Jay-Z, she would have been in the crowd with her bodyguard, Julius. Julius was never named in this lawsuit as an observer, and that is also another red flag because we know that Julius was working with Beyonce back in 2015. And if Julius was never named, then it goes to show that this individual is telling a lie. Now, even media outlets are stepping forward to say they don't even know how this lawsuit got into the courtroom, because even the media outlets, they are saying that there's so much evidence proving that this alleged scenario never happened more than anything else, because they're saying, yes, they have read Sean Diddy Combs' indictment, what federal prosecutors are saying, that Diddy was never there doing those things. It's true because federal prosecutors have documented Diddy's activities on that date. So this gentleman's claim could not be factual. Not only that, the other red flag in this is that he basically said that he was in a drug-induced stupor. So basically, he was like in a drug-induced psychosis, but still he can remember what everyone said to him word for word. He can remember all the discussions, full-length discussions. And he was saying that this was at Gloria and Emilioestefan's house. The party was housed there. And he was saying that Gloria was so shocked by his drug-induced stupor that Gloria was screaming for someone to get help for him. Gloria is saying, this is a family house. We never lived there. And during that year, we've never had any party at that house for so many years. We were just basically monitoring this house for family friend. We have party at the house, but not around that time. It was years later. But it's so laughable. It's giving definite April Fools. And not only that, he's basically saying that Adria English led him through secret tunnels to Diddy Mansion. We're talking about the same Adria English that filed a lawsuit against Diddy. So you know that these people are just literally coming out the woodworks with just saying anything just to get money. And I know that the internet is going to come with some conspiracy theory of Diddy is doing this, Jay-Z is doing this, but honey, if Diddy is doing all of this, Diddy would have been able to get himself out of jail. This is nothing but a covert attempt from greedy people who are sick, twisted, and oftentimes these 1-800 lawyers know how to trigger people, because once someone with a mental health condition sees these things and say, has Diddy ever done anything to you? Call us. They call these people, and then these attorneys actually influence them on what to say and who to include, because they are trying to get a quick settlement. The more celebrities we name, it is easier for us to get a quick settlement. And I told you guys last week that we're going to see more of these false claims coming through, naming innocent people, and they're going to be so ridiculous. And here we are today, because it is literally their plot, literally their plan, and I believe that everyone can see it at this time. Anywho, let's get into this one. Now they're saying, and you Diddy accused the claims he was sexually assaulted, awarded, and humiliated at a freak-off party in Miami. And he says Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron James, and gloriaestefan saw him in a rough shape. Diddy is being sued for human trafficking by a Florida man named Mazario Joseph, who claims Diddy humiliated him at an April 2015 birthday party for King Combs by strapping a penis to his face and parading him around. In the lawsuit obtained by TMZ, Manzaro claims he was substanced, that D word, and transported to Star Island in Miami for the big party. In April of 2015, he says he was first dragged into the back entrance of Emilio and Gloriaestefan's mansion, where a panicked Gloria saw him drug-induced stupor and demanded someone called an ambulance. Now, Manzaro claims Emilio quickly silenced Gloria and ushered her away into the crowd. He would not be able to remember that if he was in a drug-induced stupor. When you're in a drug-induced stupor, it basically affects your memory. All you'll have from the events are like broken pieces of puzzles. But this man is able to remember full-on conversation. And you're telling me that an attorney filing this never see red flag? Like, what's going on in law schools? Greed cannot be at this level of arrogance and should never be allowed to be at this level of arrogance. But let's continue. They're saying, and then he says he saw LeBron walking through a hallway in a bath towel. He says LeBron James looked at him and said, "You better do something about that." He remembers all of that, being in a drug-induced stupor. Now, in the docs, Manzaro claims ex-porn star Adria English then led him through a secret tunnel to Diddy's mansion. He remembers all of this in a drug-induced stupor, people, and he regained partial consciousness in a large party area where he noticed Beyonce and Jay-Z. Huge red flag. Couldn't have gained consciousness so quickly. Could not. They're saying Manzaro claims when Beyonce saw him, she asks, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with a cocked mask standing here in front of me?" He says, one of Diddy's goons told Beyonce Diddy wants him to see what we do to snitches. This is part of his punishment. Like, ridiculous. Diddy's accuser claimed he was then forcibly paraded through multiple rooms filled with people who jeered and taunted him. And he says Diddy ordered him to be degraded, calling out, "He's gonna find out what we do to snitches tonight. Get him undressed." Manzaro says he was stripped and then dressed in a small thong bikini bottom and a black leather mask with a rubber dam forcibly inserted and zipped closed over his head. He says a lock device was affixed to the mask, protruding his mouth. This is just so wild. With Diddy and Adria allegedly subjecting him to degrading and non-consensual acts. And we're talking about the same Adria that basically accused Diddy of doing something similar to her. Like, make it make sense. Now they're saying he says later in the night he came across celebrity jeweler Jacob Aravo, who he says was visibly disturbed by his attire. He claims Jacob asks, "What's this? What's going on with this guy? Why is he standing here staring at me with a penis strapped to his face?" Manzaro claims Emilio again intervened and told Diddy goons to get him out of Jacob's sight, and then Gloria again pleaded for an ambulance with Emilio silencing her and shoving her away into a crowd. Jay-Z, Beyonce, LeBron, Gloria, and Jacob are not being sued. Doesn't mean that you're going to escape their wrath, though, and you need to get it. Now they're saying, no, it is true. Diddy threw a 17th birthday party for his son back in April 2015, and while Manzaro is referring to it as a freak-off, the alleged event he described does not match what prosecutors have said in the federal indictment. They allege the freak-offs involved Diddy, a male sex worker, and another woman. By the way, one quick hole we found in Manzaro's story with a simple Google search is that Jay-Z was in New York City on April 1st, 2015, the date of King's 17th birthday, for a speaking engagement about Tidal streaming service, which he had just purchased. Manzaro is going after Diddy, Emilio, Adria, and Diddy's alleged drug mule, Brendenpaul, among others. He's suing them for human trafficking and he's seeking damages. Sean Combs' legal team tells TMZ this complaint demonstrates the depraved lengths plaintiff will travel to garner headlines in pursuit of a payday. No sane person reading this complaint could credit this story. Mr. Combs looked forward to having his day in court where these lies and perverse motives of those who told them will be revealed. This attorney needs to lose his or her license because this is so ridiculous. With simple Google search, this attorney could have seen that the allegations are so far off, false. And if they had read Diddy's federal indictment, they could have used it to support a good case and use it equally to dismiss this case and not go further with it, because federal prosecutors are saying that's not what happened on the first. And just imagine federal prosecutors denouncing your lies against Diddy. The prosecutors who want Diddy to go down is saying Diddy never did this. He did something on that date, but not this. He actually did something else. This is so wild. Now, a spokesperson for LeBron James tells TMZ this is demonstratively false and doesn't even merit a report or response. A basic internet search shows that LeBron was doing all of April 25th, what he was doing. All of April 2015, he was playing basketball for Cleveland Cavaliers and never in Miami. Brian Bieber, attorney for Brendenpaul, tells TMZ, is this an April Fool's Day joke? It has to be. If someone seriously filed this lawsuit, the allegations against Brendan are 100% false and literally impossible to have occurred. Brendan was still in high school in Ohio at the time, having never even set foot in West Palm Beach in his life. It's unfortunate that anyone who pays the filing fee and get directions to the courthouse can file a frivolous lawsuit. We will be seeking an immediate dismissal of the case and appropriate sanctions. Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, tells TMZ Mr. Carter wasn't in Florida at that time to witness this incident. He was engaged in easily findable public activities that prove he was not at this event. This is more nonsense that erodes the trust in our justice system. A rep for Gloria and Emilio tells TMZ Gloria and Emilioestefan strongly deny the allegations made. The property in question was never a home where Gloria and Emilio resided, but it was rather a house they owned for family use. There were no parties thrown at that property between 2012 and 2019. We have all necessary documentation to support these facts and will prove it to the court. Now, guys, this was a good read. It was so funny, but I do believe that this attorney not only needs to be sanctioned, but I believe that this attorney should lose his or her license to practice, because how do you file a lawsuit without doing any legwork of the sort? The federal indictment would have declared Diddy's innocence in itself, and with jayz, they could have easily detected that jayz was not there by just doing a quick Google research. But who wants to research when they can cause pain, humiliation, and shame to get a quick settlement from these celebrities? But now more than ever, these celebrities are fighting back, and you cannot even blame them. This gentleman has to be suffering from some severe mental illness, and even the attorney might even be worse. And I say that with no apologies, because this is so damn ridiculous. Now, could be that these people have teamed up to muddy the waters, but then if they did, it would not even make any sense whatsoever. But anywho, I want to hear from you guys. What's your take into this nonsense lawsuit? Leave a comment below. While you're at it, thumbs up, share, subscribe, and we're going to talk some more in the comment section. Peace.